Hi everyone, welcome to the video number 7 for the Flipped Classroom 7. For this class, you need the following materials. We are going to be reviewing the present perfect, but this time in a reading comprehension exercise. So be sure you have the practice booklet. Then we're going to be listening to the audios and reading the chapters 5 and 6 in the book Helping Around the World, which is the basis for your project 2. And finally, you will find the explanation of what you got to do in project number 2, which is in groups. You will find the groups also in the virtual class. And in the virtual class, you can also find the document that has the explanation of the project 2. Be sure you download that document, read all the instructions, and follow them. Remember, this is a project and it is important that you comply with pronunciation, with spelling, and with grammar as well. Please let me know if you got any questions. Please open your practice booklet on page 34. We're going to read together and then you're going to answer the questions in the next page using the information from this reading. An amazing trip. Pam has just arrived home after a long vacation. She has invited her friend Nancy over for coffee. She's telling her about the vacation. I've been to the most beautiful island, Pam explains as she heats up the coffee. It was incredible. That's wonderful, Nancy says. Have you enjoyed the trip then? I hope it was relaxing. She takes a cup of coffee from Pam and puts it on the kitchen counter. I cannot stop thinking about it. I have done so many amazing things, Pam replies. She gives Nancy a spoon. Wow, that trip has really put you in a good mood, Nancy says, mixing her coffee with the spoon. Tell me more about it. Well, for one thing, I have learned to scuba dive, Pam announces. Nancy drops her spoon with surprise. Really? But you have always been afraid to swim. I guess I have stopped being afraid, Pam replies, laughing. That's great, Nancy says. Well, what else have you learned? Oh, that's all, Pam answers. But I have become interested in dancing and I have made a lot of friends. Dancing? Have you ever danced before? Nancy thinks. Maybe her ears are not working correctly. This trip has made some big changes in your life. Yes, it has been a great experience, Pam answers. I'm really happy for you, Nancy says. So, now that you have had an amazing vacation, will you go back to work on Monday? Oh no, Pam replies. I've had lots of fun, but I'm tired. I have taken some more days off from work. I need a vacation from my vacation. Now open your books on page 35. Answer the following questions and do the writing section. Please send the picture via Outlook to the teacher. This is your evidence 1 for this video. Where has Pam traveled? What has she learned? How has the trip changed Pam's life? What has Pam done during the trip that she didn't do in the past? What does Nancy think about Pam's experience? Why does Pam say that she has had a lot of fun? Answer the questions using present perfect, good grammar and spelling. Part 2. Writing. Pam has just had the best vacation ever. Have you ever had a really amazing vacation where you have traveled in your life? Please write a paragraph using present perfect, good grammar, and good spelling. Send a clear picture to the teacher to check grammar and spelling. Finally, for this first part, you're going to do the error correction practice that is in the virtual class. You need to find the mistake, present perfect or simple past. 10 of these sentences have a grammar mistake. Two are okay. Can you find the mistakes and correct them? Please do the practice and send the picture to the teacher. Also, check the answers in the next section of this video. These are the answers to the error correction practice. In number 1, the answer should be, or the correct sentence should be, he has never been to Disneyland. Number 2, have you ever climbed, with ED, climbed Mount Everest? Number 3, I learned, we don't need the was there, I learned how to play the piano when I was a child. Number 4, how many times have you seen Star Wars? This sentence is correct. 5, he was gone to London with his family last week. This sentence is correct too. 6, she has never traveled abroad. We gotta change the word have for the auxiliary has. 7, I don't see that movie yet. The right way should be I haven't seen that movie yet, using present perfect. 8, he has won many prizes. This sentence is also correct. 9, what time did you arrive yesterday? 10, have you ever seen a famous person? We gotta change the position of the word ever. 11, I have never lived in New York. Don't, we need to delete it. It doesn't apply in this structure. I have never lived in New York. And 12, I called her 2 minutes ago. We gotta delete the auxiliary have. Remember, send a picture to the teacher with your practice. Next, you are going to listen to the audio and follow the reading of chapters 5 and 6 in this book. These are the chapters on pages 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. You must pay attention to the pronunciation. This is individual. Then, once you have finished this video, you're gonna meet with the person that is in your group for the project. Be sure you read the instructions, like I mentioned before, they are in the platform, and follow them.
Chapter 5. Helping in Emergencies. Some emergencies are because of a natural disaster like a tsunami or an earthquake. Others are because of something that people do, like fighting in a war. In emergencies, people need help very quickly. Help for refugees. People become refugees when they have to leave their home in an emergency or when their home is lost. There are millions of refugees in the world. Most refugees have had frightening experiences. They have often lost everything: their home, their job, and their school. Maybe they have lost people in their family, too. They often live in refugee camps, special places where refugees can live and be safe. Refugees try to help themselves, but this can be very difficult. They usually need help from others too. Refugees need food, water, and somewhere to live. They also need to see a doctor if they have been hurt or if they are sick. Sometimes a country's government cares for refugees. International organizations like the United Nations usually help too. Charities are also important. Some charities help to build refugee camps and to give refugees food and clothes. Other charities help people who are hurt or sick. Charities also help refugees to go back to their home when it's safe. The tsunami in Indonesia, 2004. One of the worst natural disasters happened in Indonesia on December 26th in 2004. A huge earthquake under the Indian Ocean caused a giant wave or tsunami that traveled thousands of kilometers across the ocean at great speed. By the end of that day, more than 150,000 people had died. Many thousands more people were hurt, and millions of people in many countries lost their homes. Lots of people helped after the tsunami. Families, friends, and neighbors helped each other. Many people came from countries all around the world to help too. Governments sent workers to help, and charities sent volunteers. One of the biggest jobs was to clean up the beaches and towns. People saved things like wood and stones to build new homes and buildings. The earthquake in Haiti, 2010. Another terrible natural disaster happened on January 12th in 2010. There was a huge earthquake near Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti. More than 250,000 homes were damaged, and thousands of other buildings were destroyed. More than 200,000 people died. About 300,000 more people were hurt, and more than 1 million people lost their homes. The people of Haiti worked with many people from other countries who came to help. One of the most important jobs was to care for people who had been hurt and to find people who were lost. Dogs also helped to rescue people from under-damaged buildings. People helped to get food and clean water to everyone, and medicines to people who were sick. They also made refugee camps for people who had lost their homes. Chapter 6. Caring for Animals. There are more than 6 billion people in the world, but there are very many more animals. Lots of people help animals. Do you know any people who help animals? Vets. Veterinarians, or vets, care for animals. Some vets work in veterinary centers in towns and cities. People take their pets, like cats and hamsters, when they are sick or hurt, or for vaccinations. Other vets go to farms, wildlife parks, and zoos to care for animals.
Discover!
These vets are caring for a snow leopard in a zoo. Snow leopards are very rare. There are only about 4,500 wild snow leopards in Asia. Animal charities. There are lots of animal charities. Some charities are small and they help local animals. Other charities are large international organizations that help animals all around the world. Charities help animals in many ways, but they need money to do this. Many people give money to animal charities. Some people give money to adopt an animal. The animal stays in its home, but the charity uses the money to help to keep it safe. Some volunteers from an animal charity in Germany collect toads that are migrating near dangerous roads. Then they take them to a safer place. An animal charity in Indonesia helps young orangutans when their parents have been killed by hunters. Volunteers care for the young orangutans. They build homes for them and they feed them. Then, when the orangutans are older, they can return to the forest if it's safe. Animal rescue. Some people rescue wild animals. Volunteers rescue animals that are hurt after disasters like oil spills. Birds and fish that are covered in oil will die if people don't clean them. Whales live in oceans, and they often travel thousands of kilometers every year. Gray whales, for example, spend the summer in the cold Arctic Ocean. Every October they swim south, and they travel about 120 kilometers every day. Then they spend the winter in the warmer Pacific Ocean. Some whales swim into water that isn't deep enough. Some swim into rivers or onto beaches. If they can't get back to the deep ocean, they become very tired and they can hurt themselves. Volunteers try to move them into deeper water. Lots of volunteers are needed, and it can take a long time because whales are so big and heavy. If people didn't help whales like these, they would die.
Antes de empezar, aclaro que este proyecto no se está asignando para Semana Santa, se asigna para la semana anterior. Language Arts Project 2, Chapters 5 and 6. Please verify in the virtual class who is in your group. For this project, you will meet and practice your presentation. You must do this project during the week of March 22nd to the 26th. The project you must present it to the class on the week of April 5th to the 9th in session 3. You're going to observe the chapter assigned to you by the teacher. If you got assigned chapter 5, you need to investigate and find 10 examples of people who have helped others in an emergency around the world. Prepare a presentation using any application that you want, in which you must present images and, pay attention, describe how these people have helped others in emergencies. You must describe and build 10 descriptions using present perfect. Chapter number 6. If you got this chapter, you need to investigate and find 10 examples of people who have helped animals around the world. Prepare a presentation in which you present images and explain how these people have helped others in emergencies. You must describe in 10 descriptions using present perfect and adjectives. Again, for this, you may use any application that you want. Remember, use correct grammar and spelling. You must include descriptions in your project, not only sentences. This means that besides the sentences in present perfect, you must also describe and explain each situation. Reading is not allowed. Practice your presentation. Check the spelling and use accurate pronunciation. That would be the end of this video and of the assignment for it. Remember, send the pictures with evidences from the book and the error correction practice via email to the teacher. And also, be sure you do your project for the week after our holiday. Thank you. See you and enjoy the holiday.